Hey guys, as some of you may know, yesterday I had a live chat on Facebook with two guys from Liddy Road. One works in the gym, he's a PT, the other is Karis, he's a boxer, he coaches people boxing. It was good, but it was a little bit unorganized, I thought. So we also had technical issues. It was our first chat, so our live chat, so we knew it wasn't going to be perfect. However, I do want to start doing videos on my own as well now. So I kind of want to start doing videos on my own as well. Just so it's clearer, it's easier for you guys to understand. I think I'll get more from it as well because we kind of got caught up in our conversations yesterday, and you kind of forget that you're being you're on live and you've got people listening to you. So I'm gonna start trying to do more videos. I'm not used to doing them, so hopefully I'll get better at these, a bit clearer to understand, and so you can get something more from them. Also, I'm going to be going over certain topics and giving people certain tips to help you, whether it is you want to gain muscle, lose body fat, both, tone, if you're about to start a new diet, whatever it is you want help with, I'm going to try and give you guys basically the same type of information that I give a lot of my clients, as well as just friends and family, and a lot of the stuff that I follow as well. And now I'm going to go into something that I see a lot of people struggling with. It's going to be about tracking calories mainly, but this focus is going to be weight loss, and I'm going to be talking about weight loss. People say to me all the time, okay, well, let's talk about weight loss. I don't even know where to begin. There's the psychological side of it, there's the physiological side of it, there's the nutritional side of it. So I'm just going to take some time now to go over the nutritional side of things, so you can better understand, what the science is showing, how you can, use the data that we have, as well as the advice that I'm going to give you, and how you can apply it to yourselves, because that's extremely important. As an example, I can give you the best workout or diet plan there is ever. If it's not applicable to you, obviously it's not worth shit for you. So it's actually probably the worst plan you can actually have. So the main thing we're going to be talking about today is tracking calories, and why tracking calories, why I believe, as well as many other people as well, some of the best fitness coaches out there who are training professional athletes, fitness models, they all get their clients to track their calories. If they're not tracking their calories, they're tracking their macros, which is pretty much exactly the same thing. Tracking your calorie intake is that you're just guessing, and you're just hoping for the best, and you're not in control. A lot of people think that they are, because they lose weight, but they're not in control. Unless you can control the rate of of the amount of fat you are losing or weight you are losing, if you cannot control that rate, then you are not in control. If one week you lose 5 pounds and the next week you lose 1, unless you have specifically planned and changed your nutritional intake for that to happen, you are not in control. You are just hoping for the best, and that's why so many people struggle to lose weight. They're just hoping for the best. There's no plan. There's just, okay, I'm gonna start eating clean, healthy foods, and I'm just gonna hope for the best. And then it works. They start to lose weight. They then start to believe that it's the reason why they lost weight is because of these foods that they are eating, that they have some type of special magical powers, that superfoods apparently can help us burn fat. No, they can't. that to me is the start of how people struggle to lose weight so much, is because they end up developing an unhealthy relationship with food, because then they start to look at the food that they was consuming previously, when they what got them overweight, they now see as bad foods, where and now they look at apples, fruits, vegetables as good foods, and it's not that they're not good. We know that they are. A 5-year-old knows that they're good. Everyone knows that vegetables are good for you, and we should definitely be consuming more of them. However, that does not make chocolate and donuts, Krispy Kremes, whatever, all these other types of foods that McDonald's, all these junk foods, these fast foods, we consider to be bad. It does not make them bad. It's just usually they are higher in calories, and they have less nutrients in them. They still have nutrients in them. Okay, so a lot of people say that McDonald's doesn't have any nutrients in it, or a chocolate bar has no nutrients in it. As long as it has calories and macronutrients, then by the name macronutrients, there's always going to be nutrients in that, and our body can use it and break it down. So it's not that these, fast food, junk food is inherently bad for us. It's just that they have a lower level of satiety, usually because of their fiber intake. So because of their lower level of satiety, they make us feel more hungry. So after we eat them, we're more likely to want to eat again. Like, as an example, if you're at that McDonald's, sometimes you could be hungry again an hour later. So we get the calories from the McDonald's, and then we end up eating again after. Then also they are much higher in calories as well on top of that. But that doesn't again make them bad for us. It's just once we take that into account and you remember that, and you use to fit these foods into your overall calorie intake, then you can still lose weight. In regards to clean foods or whole foods, they're going to have a higher level of satiety, so they're more likely to make us feel full. Again, they are more fibrous foods that are higher in fiber. They are also lower in calories. So it is more the calories that you're getting from these foods that are causing us the problems that we associate with health, and not necessarily the food. It's not necessarily the food itself that's bad for us, or stopping us from losing weight. As an example of that is, let's say, again, clean eating, or just having this, or believing in this misconception that eating healthy foods is going to make us lose weight. Well, what happens when you reach a plateau? If you reach a plateau while you're clean eating, where do you go from there? How do we get over that plateau? We know we can. Do clean eaters eat even cleaner? No, you can't do that. Can you eat even healthier? Maybe, but again, it's going to be difficult to do. So what they do is they lower their energy intake, so they lower their actual calories, and then they start to see more progress. So what tracking allows us to do is it allows us to create just a small deficit every day. So let's say if you're maintaining on 2,000 calories, then all you do is you bring it down to 1,800. Normally what people would do, again with going back to just going on a normal diet, is that they would, if they're eating 2,000, because they only start eating different types of foods, like they say healthier foods that have a lot less calories in, they end up eating like 1,200 to 1,000 calories in a day, which is a massive drop. That's like nearly half the amount of food that you're used to consuming. So tracking just allows us to eat that small, allows us to have that small drop, So we can still lose weight, it's just going to happen at a slower rate. Another benefit about only dropping your calories a small amount is what happens is because you haven't starved yourself throughout the week, when it comes to that day where you have that bad day or that cheat day, you now don't feel the need to binge because you do not feel nowhere near as hungry or as deprived as you normally would do on a normal diet. So hopefully now you're starting to realize that tracking your calories is the most important aspect of weight loss, and it's not necessarily going to be just about eating healthier foods. So because if we go back to the example I used before, and you start eating, let's say, healthy, and all you do is eat healthy foods, and you massively bring down your calorie intake, you are not going to be able to adhere to that over a long period of time. And weight loss happens over a long period of time. That's something I think the media and these what all the information we see on the internet kind of doesn't inform you of. It takes a very, very long time. The same way it takes extremely long time to gain fat as well. It takes very, we don't just wake up. We're like, oh my god, I'm like 15 pounds heavier. It doesn't work like that. I think on average, I saw a statistic which was done on Americans, and apparently you only gain about 1 or 2 pounds extra a year from body fat. Now, don't get me wrong, you definitely can. Don't get me wrong, you definitely can, go through a period of gaining much more weight than that. But if you was to base it on over a longer period of time, it usually averages itself out to anywhere between 1 to 3 pounds in a year. So you might gain, let's say, 7 pounds in 1 year, but then the next year you only gain like 1 or 2. So, and maybe the year after that you only gain like another 1 or 2. So it kind of like evens itself out over the course of a few years to be about. And it's important to realize this, that it's going to take a long time to lose, and you're going to need to be ready to put in the effort of being in a diet for a certain amount of time. However, it definitely does not need to be as strict as you are probably used to it being for you. It doesn't have to be that difficult. As an example, I'm actually, because I'm cutting down, I'll be dieting for 5 months now. People think, wow, 5 months is a long time. It wasn't really. It doesn't feel like it was a long time, because for 3 of those months, maybe even longer, 3.5 of those months, I didn't have to change my calories once. I was eating quite a lot. I was still going out drinking quite often. So it's not as hard as people think it is. The important factor is, though, that I was always in control of that weight loss. Whereas, again, if you're massively, drastically cutting your calorie intake just by switching your diet up from one style of eating to another, then you're going to struggle. So where do we start from? Well, I always get people, I think it's just the most simplest way to do it, to just start making one small change at a time. So when you first start tracking your food intake, what you want to do is just track. You don't want to, they automatically ask me, well, how much should I be losing to lose weight? People ask me that all the time. It's like, well, you're probably better off just tracking first. Just spend 2 to 3 weeks just tracking, nothing else. What you might find is over those 2 to 3 weeks, because you started to become mindful of what you are eating, and because you are tracking, you will probably be eating less than what you normally do. But that's not the goal. Try to eat as much as you normally do, because that then lets you know, also can let your coach know what level you are at, where's your metabolism at, where's that capacity at, and then we can go from there. The take-home message from this video is tracking is extremely important, in my opinion, in most people's opinion, And the main reason for that is it's just about control. It puts you in control. There's no more guessing. There's no more hoping I'm gonna lose weight. You are going to lose weight, right? Even when there are, like there was a time recently I've been cutting. So for me, I'm getting like really lean now. So my weight loss, my fat loss can be pretty slow sometimes. And I actually went about 2.5 weeks without losing a single pound, but I still never ever changed my calorie intake. The reason why I didn't do that was because I know weight loss is not a linear process, which means sometimes I'm going to lose weight. There'll be a week where I might lose a lot of weight, and there'll be a week where I don't lose nothing. So I trusted that I was eating a little enough to allow this weight to drop. So, and then it did. It started to drop. I didn't have to make no changes at all, and I ended up losing, I think it was like 2 to 3 pounds in just 1 week. So it made up for the other weeks that I didn't lose a single pound. So start tracking, and then do that for a couple of weeks, and then let's just go from there. Alright, that's going to be the end of this quite long video. It was my first one. Please let me know what you think of it. If you have any questions, please ask me.